Supposedly grown, supposedly grown, supposedly grown, supposedly grown. Supposedly grown.
Maybe that should be the whole thing. Is like we'll just talk shit about you the whole time.
It's
Oh,
not my
roast
fault that
chick.
PayPal
Or
doesn't know how to take jokes.
can we bring up the weak ass ankles?
Oh
Damn.
yeah,
Oh, just all sorts of shit about me, huh?
yeah.
So
You ain't breakdance battling. You ain't running fast because if you hit something, it's done. Like
Post Father's Day roast sesh right now.
oh, I love it. I love it.
it's not cool, guys.
I think it's the best idea ever.
It's Father's Day. I'm supposed to be appreciated.
And we appreciate you getting kicked off PayPal for saying, well, what was it?
Oh yeah, you had it right. You, exactly what I said.
You were going down there. You were going down.
Yeah, but all right. So I wasn't actually asking for fellatio though. It's
It
not.
sounds like you were soliciting, you paid for it.
It sounds
not my
like you were
fault.
throwing some ducats over there to get a little bit. That's what it sounded like.
I'm
Well,
just
I would
putting
hope
two
not.
together. You said money and you said, suck my That's soliciting sex, sir. I don't
That's
care if it
not-
is your brother.
That was talking mess to my brother for winning something.
So not only were you soliciting sex, but you were also looking for incest. Is that what that is?
And apparently that's
This ain't no
PayPal.
West
That's exactly
Virginia,
what.
Alabama.
And now he's got like this agenda against PayPal. He's like, fuck that, everybody get Venmo right now. Like
Actually, no. Like I don't have a PayPal anymore, but I have a PayPal that I can use. So I've worked the system.
Why I had to make one?
Not my fault, guys. All right, PayPal just doesn't know how I like to joke, and they banned me for it.
I mean, PayPal doesn't believe in human trafficking and solicitation of sex.
So
With them for that?
PayPal is actually
Do you
doing
think-
the right
all right,
thing. Sorry.
Yes, I got banned for prostitution. Do you think they like accept payments through? Because what's the fans only pages and stuff like that? Do you think they allow that type of stuff?
I don't know what that paid platform is. Honestly, I've never tried to click one.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about making one, so that's the only reason I'm asking.
I was okay. Side note, not really. I'm listening to radio. You know how to have those little ask your advice segments.
Uh-huh.
This lady and her husband, I guess, want this wedding. It's getting kind of pricey, so she was going to make a fans only page for her feet. And her fiance was like, "Nah, don't do that." And she was asking, like, "Should I just do it anyways behind his back?" And I'm like, wait a minute. I can make a fans only page for my feet? Huh.
I don't know. Do you have jacked up feet? Because probably not. If your feet are pretty gross.
I think I have cute feet. I've been told I have cute feet.
Yeah, it's probably by some creepy guy. I wouldn't
I was
trust.
just thinking, okay, yeah, some guy's just into that. He's like, oh, I'm into those feet. Let me get some of them.
Well, yeah, but those are the same kind of people going to be paying what, like $25 just to be looking at me walk around in some sandals or something. I don't know how it works.
Are
Got to
you
research
gonna
it.
Are you gonna do one of those weird ones where you like mash potatoes and squish stuff with your feet?
Hey, whatever pays the bills.
I'm just saying, if you drop out and just be a millionaire next year because you're putting feet picture out there, I might have to throw my feet out there too. I don't know, man.
I've seen those feet, and I don't know. I'd pay you to not show them.
Well, shit, at least I'm getting paid. I'll tell you that right now. Hey, matter of fact, I'm going to send you a picture. You send me $5, I'll stop sending them.
That's how I'm going to get money out of one of our friends. I'm going to send her belly button pictures and be like, send me $10 and I'll stop.
Just blow her phone up with a constant trail of belly buttons.
Like, I feel like that could be a threatening thing as well. Like, oh man, I'm running low on funds. Send $10 or else belly button.
Crazy thing is, it doesn't even have to be gross belly buttons. It can just be belly buttons in general.
No, yeah. We sent her a picture of a baby belly button and she was like dying.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I didn't know it was like that deep. Wow.
That's bad.
The belly button?
Yeah.
No, I was making fun of Pat. It wasn't that deep. Belly button.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, ha ha. You, ooh, wow. Was that a dad joke or
Kind of.
went over our heads?
Yeah, it went way over. I was like, what? Okay.
Huh?
It's cool. So, aside from all the craziness of the world happening, there was something that happened in the middle of the pandemic that was I enjoyed. I don't know about y'all, but my boy Tekashi got out of jail and started making music again.
Oh, did y'all listen to the Troll song?
Yeah, I liked it.
I haven't listened to it. I need to. But I mean, honestly, the first one was a little catchy. Hate to admit it.
I would agree with that. I mean,
Oh yeah,
and
that's definitely.
you know, everybody that's using that on TikTok as well.
Oh
Holy-
yeah. Oh yeah.
What happened on TikTok?
So on TikTok, do you get paid if they use your sound bites like a lot? Like is that
I
like
would imagine so.
I would hope so.
because I mean, yeah, I've been seeing man, and it's catchy, you know? It's a good one.
Oh yeah, it's a good one. I mean, both of them I enjoyed, but again, I'm a Tekashi fan. So
Yo, but I didn't even snap to it, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it right now. Everybody realized like Nikki was over there like naked, right? Everybody seen
Uh-huh.
that. I know you haven't seen the video, right?
Well, I follow her on Instagram, so a lot of behind the scenes.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, she was pretty much naked in the video.
Oh yeah, I
Oh.
was like, what the hell? And what? It was a trip. I didn't expect all that, I guess.
How many times did your nasty ass watch the video after that?
Huh. Feet questions.
So that brings something. I wanted to bring something up about that. So were y'all surprised that somebody actually collaborated with them even after all of this? And I mean, Nicki Minaj isn't just a small artist, right? She's pretty big.
Well, Nicki Minaj's whole husband is a criminal, brother's a gang pedophile rapist. She don't got no standards.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. But what he made a song with Akon too, right? Or he's making music with Akon.
Money, 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 money. At the end of the day.
You think
Yeah,
that's
that's the thing. Is it don't matter what you've done or who you are or anything like that. If you're bringing in the dollars, then to hell with it. I mean, like we just said, we live in a social media society. People forget those things. Like
Yeah.
people forget what everybody else does. He's not, all that court case shit. That's probably already. No one thinks about that anymore.
And he's capitalizing on that too. He dropped his video, freaking like crashed YouTube. Like,
yeah. Oh, did you
Yeah.
see the first video? He had an emoji rat head. That was pretty funny. Like he's playing into it.
he has to, and he knows it. So F it. And he's still making money doing that. So he's like his business people, smart.
Super smart.
But I did see that he tried to donate money to some charity and they said nah.
I had seen that also. I can't remember what
was it?
It may have been the because you know how people were donating to people who were protesting that ended up in jail. I think it was that.
Was it that? I can't remember. I don't know why I thought it had to do with kids. I don't know, but I just thought it was funny. They were like, nah, bro. I think it was to give lunches to kids who weren't.
Yeah, there it was. It was Children's Charity Rejected No Kid Hungry campaign.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a shitty thing on the charity, right? Because I mean, that could be money that could be used for.
No,
you're also taking money from a guy who does violence.
Exactly. Like you got to look at where that money's coming from at the same time.
Okay, so that brings that reminds me of something that I had heard. So if you do something bad to gain money, gain your status as a person, and you're trying to do good with that money, is it okay for the company to say no? Like honestly, like that could be money that could be used to actually help a lot of people, depending on how much it was. Like, can't you put aside the fact that this person is a bad person or did bad shit to get his money if he's trying to do good with it?
I mean, it's just morally, like, what can you be okay with accepting money from? Like Epstein, they were talking about some college was taking money from him under an anonymous source, anonymous donator or whatever, and they knew what he was up to, what he was doing, who he was. So I put him as anonymous, but they still wanted his money.
I mean, but think about like most big companies and shit. They're pretty cutthroat themselves, right? Most oil companies are fucking ruthless when it comes to business, and like they donate money, and people don't bat an eye when they accept that check.
I think there's a difference between like touching little kids and talking about shooting and killing people than like being a shady, like, you know what I'm saying, like being cutthroat business. I don't know. I just think it's a bad look for a children's charity to take money from him.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that because I think it kind of depends on the charity itself. I mean, yeah, you're giving to charity, but a lot of, man, it's very rare, I guess, for big companies to have like this clean slate. It's very rare nowadays. Everybody has a past. Everybody has something going on. I feel like, at least, it's, what you see isn't always what you get. So when you accept money, sometimes I think it's best for those companies to accept it anonymously. Just some random person gave $2 million to this college or whatever, right? Man, that person was doing something bad, so that's just how I see it, I think. I don't know.
So I kind of feel like it's kind of saying that people can't change. Like, yeah, he did some bad shit to get that money, but I mean, you can still do good shit with bad money. Money's money at the end of the day. Everything gets spent. So if it can actually make a change, why not use it?
Right.
Is he trying to make a change though, or is he being the same person he was before?
And just
he's being the same person he is before,
but he's not changed.
But maybe him like trying to change someone else is trying to change himself. You know what I mean?
I mean, because like, all right, we've all probably seen or heard of stories of people that were bad people, right? Drug dealers, gang members, shit like that. But they attempted to keep kids out of that whole situation. Like, is that like? I mean, you can be a bad person and still want good things for other people.
Right.
Yeah, I see. I mean, it's just, in that sense, like, I perfectly understand. It's just that organization. Do they want to be tied with someone like that for the future, But I mean, he still found ways to donate his money. I think him and Nikki went like dollar for dollar to donate to other things. I think it's just on the organization, like in the future, do you want people to be like, oh, well, they take money from drug dealers and gangbangers,
I mean, I'd be okay with taking that money as long as as long as though you're actually doing good shit with the money, shit, it really don't matter where it comes from. That's just my thought.
To some people it does, obviously.
I don't know, man. Because I think everybody, like y'all said, everybody's got a past. Everybody's done some bad shit. So can you really? Yes, his shit isn't as bad as Epstein's shit. Epstein's shit is pretty gross, right? Like that's on a whole nother level. Like I would hate to be associated with that type of shit. But I mean, 6ix9ine was just a troll, pretty much. Like I don't think he actually.
Pun intended.
I don't think he actually did any. Like he wasn't a gangster. Like he was just associated with them, right? Like I mean, it kind of.
I don't think he was really about it, but
like it got proven, right? Like he gave everybody up. Granted, he probably had a good reason to, but
yeah, for sure.
He's not about that life. So I mean,
it's just, I think, what is the organization okay with doing moral wise? Maybe it's like a real deep Christian thing, and like like Chick-fil-A or something, where they have like real deep morals and they just won't do it.
I'd take that money. Tekashi 6ix9ine can donate all his money to me. He can raise me.
Oh, hands down.
I thought you were saying you would take Chick-fil-A money, and I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I would too.
Oh yeah, I'd take Chick-fil-A food for
I'll
free.
go for a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
So I will say
Just give
this.
me
I don't know if it's just the pandemic or what, but I'm kind of moving away from Chick-fil-A. They're kind of falling off.
to
I've
move
been-
to what, McDonald's?
No,
But
man, I've been eating that Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich. They got me.
Never had it.
Trader.
Yeah, I'm definitely a trader. I'm a bandwagon
Ah.
person.
I had it. It was a little greasy. Maybe it was just the sandwich to me, but it was a little greasy.
Maybe it was the actual restaurant you went to, because I've gone to one and it was horrible. Like they gave me a chicken nugget on a big ass patty, so I didn't ever
No.
eat there. But the one by my house is pretty good.
Yeah, maybe it was just the facility I went to. The chicken was a little greasy.
I think most chicken is greasy because it's deep fried.
I mean, you could pat it down with a paper towel. Shit.
I don't think most restaurants are gonna waste paper towels like that.
Wasted my time. I might as well waste paper towel.
Look, man, if I went and spent $9 on a damn chicken sandwich, I want all that grease. I paid for that shit. I ain't putting no damn paper towel.
You know, you're at a good restaurant when you see the grease leaking out of the bag that's holding it inside of a bag.
I know I'm about to be on the toilet in about 5 minutes.
That's not a bad thing. Clean you out.
I was just gonna say, I mean, so you got to eat some really bomb ass food, and it's gonna clean you out. Good job.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Good choice of restaurant.
getting back to 6ix9ine, I heard someone ask an interesting question. Right? Everybody knows he snitched, but what, if any, is the right circumstance to actually snitch? Because, like I said, I think he was okay with snitching. Like his whole situation, from what I've heard, is pretty shitty. Like dudes he was messing with, like they were attempting to kill him. They were messing with his baby mom. Like they're stealing money from him and shit. Like he had some pretty good circumstances to snitch. But there was another question asked. It was, so let's say you're riding in a car with 4 or 5 guys, 4 or 5 people, and one guy you don't know. He has a bag, has a gun in it, unregistered, dirty gun, whatever. But no one knows him. No one knows that he has the gun. Y'all get pulled over. Ask if there's a gun in the vehicle or any weapons or any contraband or anything. They find the gun. Oh boy, doesn't say it's his. Everybody's surprised by the gun. Everybody goes to jail. Is that an okay scenario to snitch in, or like what are you supposed to do in that point?
I'm snitching. I don't know him. I don't owe him shit.
Thank you. I'm snitching. I'm gonna be honest with you. You came in my car and you didn't tell me about that shit. Because if you would have told me in the beginning you had that, you're not getting in my car.
Yeah.
So like,
It's
no,
not- like if we've been friends for like, I don't know, freaking 20 years or something, maybe I might think twice. But also, if you're my friend for 20 years, you know damn well that shit ain't cool.
Right. You're not gonna put me in that position if we've known each other for 20 years.
so is that,
Yeah.
that the expectation is that guy should take that case, right? Like he shouldn't even
It's
shouldn't even
his.
question.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he should take
If
responsibility.
you want to be around that shit, then you're gonna pay the consequences for having that shit, buddy. I'm not.
At least around me every time.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, was Tekashi wrong for snitching? Was he right?
No. Those
Oh, no,
guys
he
didn't
was
get
right.
shit about him either. It's either you or me, it's gonna be you. I'm not fucking no. Those guys
Like, and
kidnapped.
you know, and I'll be the first one to own up to my shit. Like, hey, I did something wrong. That was me. My bad. But you're putting me in this position? Hell no. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think he was right in snitching, especially because he was about to do pretty much life, right?
Yeah, he got what, under a year into that?
Nah, he was in there for like 2 or 3, I think. At least 2.
What?
No, but I mean, how much time would he have done for all of that?
I think
Oh,
he would have
man.
been. He would have done like 20, maybe 30 years, something like that.
Okay,
Like,
so he would have got out 30
He
years.
wouldn't have got a deal. He would have done like 20 or 30 years. So
So
I mean, that's a long
he
ass
probably would have
time.
been like 60 when he got out if he didn't get parole.
69, I think that was a joke. He'd be 69.
Oh, so, but that's his life. That's it. So hell no, you put me in that position. No way.
Yeah, and like those guys weren't even his friends. They were like plotting against him. So hell no.
That's the thing too. Is like they were, yeah. Obviously, they like there's recorded phone calls of them talking about planning on killing him and shit, and like they were talking about how much money Odu was stealing from him. Like he was getting like half the money for each show and shit, and oh boy didn't know until like the end when he finally decided to try and distance himself, and then he gets arrested. So it's kind of
Yeah, snitch.
So snitching.
That's a lot of money too. Shit.
Yeah.
He was. I mean, shit. He was making a whole lot of money, and then like everything is put on hold, and he's got to fucking go to jail for a little bit. But then he signed some type of record deal while he was in jail. So I guess they knew when he got out he was gonna still be as hot as he was when he went in.
Oh yeah.
If hotter.
I think so. And then he's been going at people saying everybody in the rap game is snitches and shit. Like he was.
Yo, he went after Snoop.
He went after Snoop. He went after Jay-Z.
Yes.
People. Like he went after Meek Mill. Meek Mill's hanging out with the. I'll watch the video. Like I said, I'm a pretty big Tekashi fan, so I pay attention to what he's saying. But shit, for a while, like Snoop was going at him. He was going back at Snoop. I guess it kind of died down now. I don't know what happened, but
that's what Snoop.
I honestly, because it died down so quick, I kind of think Snoop got real with him. Like in my opinion, because he's considered like an OG.
Yeah.
I think he might actually really know some people who could turn this shit around real quick. So I think you never know. I mean, Tekashi might have been at the line at the Dairy Queen, and then somebody rolled up and was like, "Hey, don't fuck with me." I don't know.
No, that's the thing though. Tekashi wasn't the one that stopped talking because he continued to say the same shit about Snoop. Like he never subsided from his story. Like Snoop stopped replying, pretty much.
Probably because Snoop knows, like, man, like he's like a little punk ass little kid compared to Snoop Dogg,
Yeah.
So why are you gonna even entertain that for very long?
Right.
So do you? So according to Tekashi, he says it stopped because Snoop didn't want to get revealed. Like apparently Snoop had DM'd him, private messaged him and was like, "Hey man, chill out on this," and that was kind of the end of it. Like he didn't want his info put out there on blast like that. That's what.
Like what? If Tekashi is real, he would have just said it.
Was that?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if he was really about that business, he would have went ahead and showed the instant message or something. I don't.
Yeah, and I feel like Snoop is not stupid.
That.
Like, yeah.
I don't know, man. They said there's some.
Oh, please don't tell everybody what I did. Oh, sir, no, that's not Snoop. You know damn well that ain't.
They said, or he said you can Google it and see the paperwork from Snoop snitching. I don't know how true it is. I didn't dive that deep into it. I'm not that interested, but that's his story, and he's sticking to it.
Well,
but again,
he needs to stop worrying about everybody else and worry about making his money.
That's part of his whole thing about making money is he likes being out there. He likes being able to call people out and shit. Like he wants the heat. He wants the beef.
I'll hand the pot and out.
But he also called out Jay-Z. One of Jay-Z's like high up top executives. Apparently, there was a New York Times article about her being an informant for the FBI or CIA or something. Apparently, she took down some big kingpins in South America with the FBI.
Well,
Um,
see, okay, that's okay. You remember Jay-Z used to be um shit, what was that guy's name? Jay-Z used to be partners with this other guy. I can't
Damon
remember.
Dash.
Yes. Supposedly, like that was part of it, like the rumor back in like the early 2000s, late 90s or whatever, was why they had
Broken
another
up.
little issue was because of everything that was happening behind the scenes, and he was like, nah, man, I'm not down for that. Da 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 da. And Jay-Z was like, man, we're making money, so don't worry about it, kind of thing. And that was a small portion of it, I believe.
So would that influence you? Like, would that influence you on working with somebody? Like,
I
cause
think
like how much does it take for somebody like? Obviously, we don't do anything illegal like that, right? So we ain't really got to worry about that. But let's say you're a rapper and you're making some money on the side doing some illegal shit. Like, is that gonna keep you from signing with the company, or is that gonna influence you on who you work with or anything like that?
what do you mean?
Like, say, all right, say, I mean, they're in Rockefeller. So high executive, she was a known informant for the FBI. Like, it's all out there, right? So I mean, she snitched. So would you be worried that some of the illegal shit you're doing is gonna get snitched about or get told to somebody at any point, or does it not even matter?
It doesn't matter because I'm be real about my stuff. It ain't gonna be all out there in the streets. I'm be smart.
I'm gonna just let you know. If you're putting me in that situation, understand, and I'll let you know, and I'll let you know 100%. If you're signing me, you say this shit's been going on, da, 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 you're getting me involved. The moment they take this shit down, I'm be like, nah, it was her. She was doing it. I'm putting all her business out there. I'm be the first one. Like, but it's because you put me again. You put me in that position. I don't think it's gonna stop me from working, but you put me here, so be ready to, reap your
Own,
benefit.
own up to your shit.
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
So is there really like a street code, or is that
No.
like a in the past? Like,
No, that's
just
that's definitely in the past.
so don't be doing illegal shit because your shit's gonna get found out. Pretty much.
I
I
I
mean,
think
nowadays it's harder. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like life in general is just so different.
Yeah. I mean, like there's so much like nothing is really private anymore, right? Like all your shit is like you're always being recorded. There's always a camera somewhere. Like you ain't
For the
really
most,
you ain't really getting away with too much shit.
and then like you say, you gotta watch who's around you. But I don't know, because that's a whole nother lifestyle that we are not a part of.
It's true. We're not
yeah.
even close to that lifestyle. Like
Uh-uh. I'm
so,
staying, I'm staying here in my little house, just chilling.
Right? Just nowhere near that
All
lifestyle.
right.
so that shit's a thing of the past. I mean, because I don't know, man. Because I remember growing up, like especially early 2000s, late 90s and shit. Gangster rap was probably at its peak. So it kind of like you thought those people were really about that life, but were they really? Like most rappers, especially nowadays, right? Like most rappers probably never sold any drugs, never did any shit like that. But like that's what they talk about. Like
I think I think back then, yeah, a lot of them, because look where a lot of them like, well, shit, I don't know, they could be lying, so who knows?
No, well, it was really weird for me the first time I found out that Tupac went to like a fine arts school and all this, like that threw me off. And it correct me if I'm wrong, he's not even from LA.
no, he's from New York.
Yeah, so like California Love came out and all that stuff. I'm thinking like, what the hell?
Yeah, yeah, he grew up in the East Coast and shit. But I guess he went to the West Coast probably after he got shot up and shit.
Right. So that was hearing all that later in life, growing up listening to Tupac and Biggie and stuff like that. And then hearing that later on in life when I guess Google and shit was a thing and finding out the real, like he was in a fine arts school and all that stuff. I'm like, what the hell? Like there was to me, I'm like, oh, okay, well, some of that stuff wasn't as real as I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I don't think that just is just with him. Like think about Dre. Dr. Dre is like one of the biggest supposed gangsters in the rap game, right? But he was like a DJ for like a boy band or some shit before he
Yeah.
WA, right? Like he had the Jerry curl and everything. But
Which
and
is
like
really crazy because if you think Dr. Dre, you don't see boy band, but that was kind of the where he got his feet wet kind of thing. Like that's where he started at.
yeah, and like I don't know, man, because obviously we're basing this off of shit that we've either seen or heard, and the NWA documentary or the movie is where I got most of my information, and like the only one that really seemed like he lived that life was Eazy-E.
Right.
Like aside from that, like I don't know. I mean, because think about it, like how young was Snoop whenever he actually started rapping and he got big pretty fucking young. He may have been like 19, 20.
No, he was 19 years old. 19.
So like how deep into the gang world would he have gotten like in that short time period?
Because some start early.
Yeah. Because if you watch if you were to hear 50 Cent say stuff or even the get rich or die trying kind of thing, like he was, and I don't know this to be true. I ain't trying to be a factual person or whatever, but like he was on the streets at 13 selling.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, shit, and like he's an interesting one because like everybody that grew up with him or everybody in the neighborhood and shit says the same thing. Like he was real. Like he was really about that life. Like he wasn't loyal or anything, but like he was about his shit. Like he was all about money and shit. So he's actually a fun guy to follow on social media too.
Hilarious guy to follow on social media. Give me that bag.
Mm-hmm. It's probably one of my favorite follows on Instagram. And like he's moved past. I mean, shit. When was the last time he actually came out with music? Now he's a producer, pretty much. Like he makes TV shows, like pretty good TV shows. That.
Well, he's got #1 top selling business books out there as well.
I mean, he's a smart businessman from what? He had clothes. Now he's doing TV shows. Now he's selling liquor. What else? Did he have the water? He had vitamin water?
Yeah. He was a part of Vitamin Water. Like apparently he made a bunch of money.
Bunch of money. He made a big old bag of money off that.
And then them shoes, them G-Unit shoes, everybody had to wear those.
G-Unit. So I mean, if there's
but he was smart with everything.
Yeah, those G-Unit shoes were ugly too, but everybody had them.
Right.
Oh,
he
man.
capitalized on his moments.
Yeah.
And like no one else from that group did anything.
That's usually how it is. You have your one person, everybody else just kind of there.
I guess so, huh? That happens with like boy bands too. Like who was it? B2K.
You have Omarion.
Yeah, B2K, Omarion.
Beyonce, Justin Timberlake.
Immature, you had Marcus Houston, I guess. He's probably NSYNC, none of them.
The Saint Lunatics. The Saint Lunatics was all Nelly, and then it was Murphy Lee for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Like you got one talented person carrying the rest.
Don't ever join a group. Just be your own person.
I don't know, man. Because I was watching a Breakfast Club video. They were interviewing Young Buck and his crazy ass. He was talking about how much money he made off of just touring and shit with G-Unit. Made a shit ton of money, but he forgot to pay taxes, so he was broke.
You
Really?
don't forget taxes.
What's that?
I said you don't just forget to pay taxes.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, because when you get a lump sum of money for, like, let's say a tour or something, say you get the whole check for the whole tour, like without tax, because I mean, most places probably ain't taking taxes out; they're just paying you the money, and then it's your responsibility to pay the taxes to the
Yeah.
state or to the.
Yeah.
Like most people ain't gonna know that shit. Like I wouldn't know that.
You wouldn't think you had to pay taxes on things?
I would assume that someone took taxes out already, but I'd be wrong. That's me being an asshole.
If I was rich, though, I would have a money person for that reason
Yeah,
because there's a lot of that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like a financial advisor and stuff. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Because there's a lot like that, like you wouldn't think of or know. Different states have, I don't know, different rules.
yeah,
And
that's true, too.
it changes whenever you're in different tax brackets and stuff. So you don't know those rules because you just went from having nothing to having millions of dollars overnight. You don't know those
Yeah.
rules. Come on, you know?
You know, the crazy thing is too is like I'm sure it's like sports players because like when you play like even a game or something in another state because you get paid by the game, right? So you've got to pay taxes to every state you play in. So you're paying taxes in every away game that you go play. Like it's crazy. So I'm sure with rappers and shit, every state you go do a show, like you've got to pay taxes to that particular state. So that'd be real fucking confusing.
Yeah, you gotta have a money person to deal with all that.
Oh yeah, to keep up with that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But now most artists don't got to worry about doing shows anymore because of coronavirus.
That's us. That's where they made that.
No more live music. And I hear Texas is slowly starting to creep back to. Now we're supposed to be wearing masks and shit everywhere again.
There's no slowly. We skyrocketed.
And it was like 10 times as much in 1 week or 2 weeks.
But like, all right, so do y'all think that it's a legitimate thing to worry about, or do you think there's just more access to tests? Because like, I just think people are getting tested more.
No, I legit think it's something to worry about. I really do.
I think it's more access to tests, but I also think you have Memorial Day weekend where you have I saw these pool parties and people are just body to body. You have all these protests that are going on, so the numbers are going to keep on the up. Like
I think
right.
once
if they were to take this seriously and I think do things slower, like the steps were, I think it would have been okay, but it was just like a floodgate. It was like, boom, what coronavirus?
Yeah, I think once people had that freedom, man, everybody just went crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody took it for granted almost and just went wild. And it was crazy because some of those people that they had talked to, like floating the river and hanging out and stuff, they had gotten tested. Turned out they had the coronavirus. And then some of them came back and were like, that was the worst decision I ever made in my life. I'm so sorry, this, that, and the other. Because they felt like they were sick, you know? Some of them they had to be put in a coma and shit.
I mean, all right, this is, obviously I'm not a nurse, I'm not a doctor, I don't have access to that much information. But like most of the stuff I'm hearing about them, like young people, young, healthy people getting it is like, it's not as bad as the media is portraying it. Like most people aren't ending up in the hospital on respirators and doing shit like that. Like most people, yeah, they're sick, they're coughing, they feel somewhat bad, but it's not like the videos portrayed when it first came out. You know, it's not like people passing out, fucking falling on the ground and shit like that. Like it's like, I mean, it's similar to the flu for most people. Like
I think the issue is that that for older people, they will have to be put on respirators and stuff, but there is not that many. Like hospitals don't have that many, so that's what they're worried about. That's legit all they were worried about. We just want to keep the number in the hospitals down. So,
but now I'm also hearing that like it's not the right decision to put these people on respirators because that's making it worse. Because like when you're putting people on the respirator, their body's not working, and once their body stops working to fight it, like it doesn't kick back on to continue to fight it. So like when you get put on the respirator, you're not going to get any better because your body just stops working.
I haven't heard that one.
That's what I'm hearing. But of course, this is off of podcasts and stuff. So again, I'm not a doctor. I don't really know anything about viruses or sicknesses or how hospitals work, really. But I don't know, man, because like obviously I don't want to catch it, right? Like I don't want to get that shit because I've got kids, and I would hate for my kids to get sick from a bad decision I made. So, I mean, aside from going to work, I really don't do much. And even when I do, I'm kind of being smart about it. Like I'm not going around licking stuff. But like, I mean, I'm in an okay position because I'm still able to go to work. But like, can people really afford for this shit? For there to be another lockdown for 4 weeks or for 3 weeks, anything like that?
Don't think they're going to do that because from what I've heard, like a lot of people are already like freaking screwed, and they will be screwed for years. Like already the damage that's been done in that little bit of time that everything was shut down is going to affect the economy for years. And they're saying like that's not something we can afford.
No,
I mean, shit. Just think
on
about
the other side of that. I feel like they're gonna shut us down even more. I think it's gonna get even worse, and I really truly mean this because if you look at what happened to Italy, Italy is doing the exact same thing, or Italy did the exact same thing we did. Shut down for a little while, see it all calm down, then let's open it up slowly in these stages, and then boom, all this shit happened at one time, like perfect storm stuff. And I'm using air quotes here because I kind of believe other stuff. But anyways, truly, now they went through this whole like 6-week shutdown. No one could leave their apartment. No one could leave their home. Like it was a big thing, and it still is over there because of everything that was happening. They weren't even picking up bodies there. Like people were dying inside of these apartments. So there was an actor who went live on Facebook or something like that, and he was a famous Italian actor, and he went live and he was like, my sister's been dead in this room for like 4 days or something like that. They won't come and get her, but that's how they're treating us because of everything that happened. I truly believe that we haven't seen the worst, and I think it's going to get even worse. You got to look at some of these major businesses. Starbucks lost 3 million or 3 billion, something like that, in just that amount of time. A lot of restaurants that we grew up with are no longer around and will not be around. Small businesses have took a full effect, and they're shutting down. I mean, it's left and right this stuff is happening.
But I'll say this about Italy though. So there's a difference in the age of population, like
right, yeah,
the matter of housing, right? Because like most of those people, they live a couple of generations in one household. So you got grandparents, great grandparents, parents, and shit like that. And the demographic is older. They smoke a lot more. Health is another question. So I mean, there's reasons for that too, right? And like, I think there's a smart way to look at it. Like, yes, cases are going up, but with more cases, look at the death rate. Like, is that skyrocketing too, or is that getting lower because of the amount of cases you're getting? Like, as long as the death rate isn't going fucking ridiculously up, like, is it really that much of an issue?
It's just they don't want overcrowding in hospitals. Like you're saying, you don't want to get sick. Like, you know, no one wants to get sick. But they're just mainly worried about not having resources in hospitals to take care of people who really need it. Not so much you getting sick and you just staying home for 2 weeks and you're going to be okay. They're not really worried about you. You know?
So why not adjust your lockdown for health factors and age factors? Like, don't lock everyone down. Like, young, healthy
because
should be able to.
They don't lock you down. Well, They don't lock you down. You go to work. You come home. Who you around? Your 2 kids. So what's the point? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get that, but like, I just don't think most people can afford not to be able to bring in some type of money. And
No, and
like
they
this,
can't.
Oh
And
no,
like,
yeah, for sure.
like that's what I was saying. I think another total lockdown was going to be the absolute last resort because even these programs, like, oh, you don't have to pay your rent this month because we understand, blah blah blah. You're gonna need to pay your rent eventually. So as many months as you're out, that's just going to accumulate. So now you got to pay this month's rent plus 2 months ago's rent. Like those people, like you are screwed. Like saying Starbucks losing all this money, all these restaurants and businesses closing down, Bath and Body Works closing down. What was the restaurant that we fast food? I don't know, just closing down. Like it's not good for the economy.
They
And
closed down
like
Luby's.
people, yes,
I think
like
Luby's was big
Corral.
down though.
Hey, whoa. My dad loves Luby's. He's
I was just
upset.
gonna say my mom loves Luby's, man.
Upset.
My wife loves Luby's. But
She's
no,
old.
most no,
She's
that was
old as fuck. Guys. But
fine.
like I'm saying, like we cannot afford for this to be happening because we are okay. We're fortunate. We are like, oh, we're like complaining about going to work. We're some of the fortunate few because there's people who legit no idea what they're gonna do, and there's nothing in the foreseeable future. Like no answer.
And that's the shitty part, right? Is like, say these small businesses, these mom and pop shops or whatever, like most of them are probably living month to month anyway, and then you
Oh,
shut them down for 2 months. Like there's no way they can recover from that. And like
No,
it's nothing that they did, right? Like they had no part to play in this. Like they didn't make any bad choices. It's just fucking
it
something
just
came up.
yeah.
Like that's the shitty part.
Hairdressers who don't they pay everything on their own based on getting clients, not working, no insurance. You can't pay that shit. Like,
Then you got all the strippers out of work. What are these strippers doing? They're not getting any ones stuffed in their G-string and everything like that.
man, those bras probably got more money than I do, so I'm not even worried about it.
But did you hear there was a strip club owner in Atlanta that was doing he had like tents and you could do a drive-through.
Oh my god!
Hey, you gotta make it through these tough times. That's what it is. That shows that shows perseverance. He made it.
That's smart business savvy right there. I also heard that strippers were out there delivering food in certain states.
Hey, they gotta make money moves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Like, is there? It just doesn't seem like there's a real solution out there that can legitimately work. Because I mean, the government can't afford to continue to pay people as much as they're paying people for being out of work. They can't get back to work either. Like, what's the solution?
I think that's the problem. And even with the virus, like no one knows how it's going to act. No one knows what's next. No one knows the solution to the problem. No one knows anything.
That's the thing. It was like,
let me ask y'all this though. So, say 3 weeks down the road, 4 weeks down the road, or whatever, they have this cure-all. You get this vaccination, you won't get it. You're good to go. Will you be one of the first ones to get one?
No,
because you don't
4
you don't
weeks
long-term
long
effects of that either.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
So,
Like, and I think that's one of the issues too of them coming up with an actual treatment is like it takes a long time for them to go through studies and go through trials and everything like that. You can't just come up with something and assume it's going to work and go straight to trying it on humans, right?
Yeah,
like,
right, exactly.
That's how a zombie apocalypse happens. And while
like that could probably do more damage than good.
I'm telling you, zombie apocalypse 2020 is about to happen.
2020 has been a crazy ass year already. I don't think
it has been a wild year, man. Goodness.
It's been a roller coaster for sure.
Ready for this shit to be over. I'm trying to live a regular
this
life.
year. Goodness, I'm so over this year.
It's just like I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. I'm not trying to jinx
Dude,
it.
don't do it.
I'm about to say the magic words. Oh my goodness. I don't know. That's all I'm saying about this year is ugh.
Yeah. All right. We've only got 6 months till the next year. Maybe next year will be our year.
Can we just salvage the rest of this year? Like,
I'm just trying to get through.
Hey, but do y'all remember we did a podcast at the beginning of the year and it was
Bullshit 2020.
no bullshit 2020. Yeah, 2020 just whooped my ass. Forget that. I'm gonna throw a bunch of bullshit out there. I'm gonna let you know.
We got all the bullshit this year.
Yeah, we got all the bullshit 2020. Whooped our ass.
Cut it out, Cubano. Supposedly grown, supposedly grown, supposedly grown, supposedly grown.